I don't watch the BBC much anymore, but when I saw the lineup of people going on Question Time, I thought, I cannot miss this. To have Zia Youssef opposite the leader of the Greens, to have the deputy of the Lib Dems, a junior minister from the Tories, and then a Labour politician living in Dover, that's his constituency. I thought this could be fiery. Like so many people, a program where I've been on Question Time myself in the past. You apply to go on. They are in the questionnaire. It tells you sort of which way you choose to vote, what your politics are, what your life experiences is, and they are then meant to get a very diverse group, but to balance the books left and right, and obviously people in the middle. But many people today are speaking out that the BBC decided to invite on people that came here illegally in small boats. Now, a lot of people are seeing that as an ambush towards Zia Youssef, but at times I've got to say the Tory guy, the Labour guy, and Zia Youssef for the Reform, some of their policies are very close, and it's purely politics that's holding them apart. They all seem to want the best for this country, where we're going to send people back to their country of origin. We want to reduce the numbers. We want to stop the boats, all these things. And yet there's a huge divide. The applause from the audience showed a BBC bias, because when the Greens or the Lib Dems said something, they got a round of applause. I thought the audience was stacked to make it look like Dover was this really welcoming town and that immigration isn't a problem. To hear from a man from Afghanistan who came here illegally and apparently sought asylum in something like 9 different countries he named and ended up getting it here shows that Britain is a soft touch. But why didn't the other countries take him? Is it because he brought nothing to the table? If he's got no skills, if he can't contribute to the workplace as an engineer or a doctor or a bricklayer or a plumber, what's the point of us giving them asylum? Now, yes, Afghanistan's in a bad way, but all those countries he went through to eventually get here. Then we see a man from Iran. And I didn't notice it when I was watching it last night, but people have shared it today. He was wearing an earpiece. He was also reading from his mobile phone. And he was asking and saying things about how it was going to be bad to leave the ECHR. But he also mentioned the Northern Ireland Protocol. Now, I'm sorry, but the man could hardly speak English. What would he know about the Northern Ireland Protocol? Because it's a very complicated piece of legislation. And to see it, I think, what I would recommend is go and find it on catch up. And I know that's sending people to see the BBC, but I've made a few notes. I mean, for something that is meant to be a reflection of the nation, I thought it was crazy. All right, these illegal migrants have been given refugee status, but we didn't hear anything about the violence towards women and girls. Not one person, not even Zia Youssef, raised the subject. What I basically saw, and these are my words, nobody else's, was people trying to hold the moral high ground by saying we need to be welcoming and all the rest of it. But as I said, you could see on the faces of people in the audience that they wanted to speak out in support of reforms policies, in support of some of the Tory policies, and yes, even in support of some of Labour policies. But when you're seated next to an illegal migrant, or obviously very liberal and lefty people, a lot of people are still too scared to speak out. And going forward, I would just say this. We all need to speak our minds. We have free speech in this country. If you're worried about it, join the Free Speech Union. But don't ever be silenced because of a fear of being a racist or a Nazi or a fascist. Because the people that use those words don't understand their true origins. They were actually left-wing philosophies, not right-wing. And you can see how the mainstream media, I mean the BBC, to be chasing a story from 48, nearly 50 years ago about Nigel Farage at school is most pathetic. And I was so pleased to see Nigel Farage put a BBC reporter in his place at a press conference yesterday. So don't be kowtowed. Do not be silenced. If you're a reformer, stand up proud, because actually we are the people that want the best for this country.